Welcome everyone. This is Zozo StockWatch, and this is your StockWatch list for Wednesday, November 1st. Happy Halloween, everybody that's out there. I'm sure you're not going to be watching videos tonight, but I'll make one anyway. We're being interrupted all night by trick-or-treaters, but I'll try to get through this. So let's go ahead and we'll start with the SPY. Once again, this is your StockWatch list for Wednesday, November 1st. October is in the books. Happy Halloween once again. All right, so the SPY, here we are holding above this 5 EMA on the SPY, kind of an indecisive candle. The SPY not as pretty as it was earlier, right? And now we're getting some, selling, buyers come in, indecisive candle, selling, buyers come in, more push up, then some indecisive candles, but still holding above the 5 EMA on the daily chart here, holding above the 10, holding above the 13 and the 20. The red line you see there, that's the 20 SMA. If we go ahead and look at the QQQ, much stronger than the SPY right now. The Qs are very strong with the likes of Amazon, Microsoft, Intel, and so on, pushing that up, but still unable to break over those recent highs and hold above them. Today's high was 152.37, and today's low 151.63. Also, our heartfelt thoughts go out to those folks in New York for that terrorist attack, and just another sad event there in New York. We'll move on to the IWM. And as you can see, we're kind of consolidating below the recent highs there on the IWM. And, we have this 147.25 area holding. And right now we're holding above the 10 SMA on the daily chart here on the IWM. The IWC, whoops, let me get my fingers in the right place. IWC, not faring as well, below the 10 SMA, and we have to watch this 93 spot for the IWC. All right, this is the micro capped ETF, so keep your eye on that 93 spot. After we did try to get over 97, couldn't do it, and we're kind of rolling over here on the IWC. SMH still very strong, making new highs here on the SMH, pushing up. Basically riding the 5 EMA, breaking out over that 100 spot on the SMH, and of course that's names like NVIDIA, moving that up, and AVGO, moving that up, and TXN and Intel. So those semis very strong, and names like SWKS also moving the SMH up. You can see this big push up in the SWKS here for the semiconductor name here. And then Qualcomm, though, not helping the semiconductor. Apple saying that they're not going to be using their chips. So Qualcomm took a little bit of a dive today, and that one's been kind of weak. And you see it came up to the 200 SMA, and then the news came out, and so that stock moved down. And let's go ahead and take a look at some of the big stocks here. Apple pushing up to new all-time highs. Amazon kind of resting today after the big earnings gains in Amazon. Google, kind of relaxing, taking it easy today, but still holding up above the 5 EMA on the daily chart and the 10 SMA. Tesla recovering off of the 200 SMA. We held it here, and they held it today, and a nice push up for Tesla. But they do have earnings coming out this week, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Facebook, pushing up to new highs. Earnings coming out. I believe it's Thursday for Facebook, but make sure you check all the earnings. I think it's maybe Wednesday. Maybe it is tomorrow for Facebook, and Apple is Thursday. Tesla, I believe, is tomorrow. Netflix, we'll check into that one, is holding this 20 SMA and holding the 10 SMA, and with the news with House of Cards being, I guess, this is the last season, still holding up pretty well with Netflix here on that name. So, some good strength in the market, and we'll take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the top 30 stocks, still holding above the 10 SMA on this. And so far, no break of that 10 SMA on the Dow Jones 30 on the daily chart. chart. Let's go ahead and we'll get into some of the events and information. Let's take a look at the futures so far tonight. Dow futures up about 9, S&P futures down about 1, NASDAQ futures up about 2, and this is around 7:15 my time, Eastern time, and that's your early futures. Commodities right now, gold up about $1, and copper not doing much. WTI 54.59 currently. Crude oil trading up 21 cents, up fractionally for the evening so far. For your conference calls tomorrow, courtesy of the courtesy of earnings cast. Sorry about that. Courtesy of earnings cast, we see that for tomorrow, Wednesday, we have a number of earnings calls going on in the morning, and also in the afternoon they'll be going on, and then after hours we have a tremendous amount of earnings calls for tomorrow. So quite a few names reporting earnings and then having their conference calls tomorrow. So we'll go ahead and get into that also right now. Let's check the economic calendar for tomorrow, Wednesday, the 1st of November. We have MBA mortgage applications. We have motor vehicle sales coming out. We have unemployment, ADP employment numbers coming out tomorrow at 8:15, 9:45 PMI manufacturing, 10 o'clock construction spending, 10 a.m. we have ISM manufacturing, 10:30 we have the EIA petroleum oil numbers coming out at 10:30, and then at 2 o'clock the FOMC meeting. I don't think anybody's expecting a rate hike on this at this meeting, but they are having that meeting and they will make the announcement at 2 p.m. There is no presser after that. Okay, so there's no presser after that. Tonight you have some numbers coming out from Japan and also from China at 9 o'clock, Japan at 8:30 Eastern time. Companies reporting earnings tomorrow before the bell. And let's just see some of the big names reporting. I'll just go look through these fast. We do have EMES, CRTO, FLOW, GNRC, Garmin, GRMN, Groupon, HFC, which is a refiner. What else do we have? Soda, SODA, will be reporting earnings before the bell. TAP, a beer company, Molson, TAP. And so those are some of the earnings coming out before the bell. After the bell tomorrow, let's go and see if Facebook is reporting tomorrow. A, B, C, D, E, F. Facebook, yes. Facebook is tomorrow. FireEye is tomorrow. We also have, I think, the Tesla reporting. Yeah, Tesla reporting earnings tomorrow after the bell. So those are some of the big names, and you can see all the names reporting. Yelp reporting after the bell, Zag, Zen, what else is there? Shack, SHAK, and you can see the list for yourself. But there's some big names reporting after the bell, and then so Apple will be reporting on Thursday. After the bell on Thursday the 2nd. So there's some of your earnings coming up. For your top stocks, top gainers courtesy of the Trade Exchange Now, we had STML, APTI, HLIT, QNST, SSTK, CXTR, SNE, SNGX, GERN, CMCO, NTLA, WCG, and then here's some of your losing stocks. Under Armour just got annihilated today on their earnings. Lumber Liquidators, Mattel down, Qualcomm down on that news with Apple, SQNS also down on their earnings. So a lot of that's your top losers for the day. And then we'll go ahead and take a look at some of the call activity and the put activity. Unusual call activity in COTY, SFM, VOC, Guidewire, GWRE, and FTNT. Put activity, IPG, KEX, PX, and that was your unusual put activity. So when I do these videos for you, I like to teach also on these videos. So I'm going to show you actually a couple of bad trades that we had today. TRXC, and not really terrible trades, but trades that just wouldn't go. And but the thing about this I want you to notice is that I kept my losses small, and I always do this now. Okay, I don't have an ego. I don't get pressured. I stick to my stop and I stick to my plan. Today we had two small losses on TRXC. So here was the stock out of the gate this morning. It popped all the way up to about $3.18. So the first time I called it was over this 311 spot. All right, so we called it here over this 311 spot, and the stock pushed up and got as high as about 316, okay, but not enough to take any profits. And then the stock started to come back down. So I took about on this first trade, I took about a 5-cent loss on this one. When it couldn't push up, I thought I was going to push up to this, 318. I would sell some there, and then maybe it would continue up. Well, that didn't happen. And like I tell my traders, when you're in our service, basically you're like a spoiled brat when you're doing some day trades, okay? You want the stock to do what you want it to do. So what we wanted it to do here is get over this entry point. We get in and we wanted it to push up to at least 318. When that doesn't happen and the stock starts to come back at us, all right, we start to get very defensive and we cut our losses small. All right, so we took about a 5-cent loss on that. So not a big loss, not a big deal. But then we saw it coming back over that same area, and I said, okay, well, I think this time it might do it. Let's try it again. So we tried it again. The stock pushed up almost to the same level, that 315 level, just could not get going. And then the same thing, we pulled back, and we got about a 6-cent loss. So now I'm down about 11, 12 cents for the day on TRXC, and these were my first and second trades of the morning. So I'm a seasoned trader. I don't get freaked out by losing, a few pennies, 12 cents here. And I tell my traders to hang in there. We'll find something. Well, here comes Roca, all right, and this was later in the morning at around 11 o'clock in the morning, and Roca was coming in on my scans, and we got a nice scan alert off my Trade Ideas scans, and I said to the traders, let's try this one over 123, and I wanted to break 125 and see if we get a continuation move. So I called this at 123, and we got a nice pop all the way up to $1.38. All right, so nice pop there from 123, 124 up to $1.38. So nice trade. So now we've just made back our money on TRXC. All right, so now we're kind of even up a little bit for the day, not by much, and now we're looking for another trade. Well, we don't find one until later in the afternoon. This came in after 3 o'clock. All right, and this EMES was also hitting my scanners on Trade Ideas, and you notice here, now this is on the 2-minute chart, but I traded this on the 5-minute chart here. And you notice, it was getting some volume, and it came up on my Trade Ideas scans. It's an oil and service stock. And I said, if this one gets over 706, and here's the line, and here's the arrow to show you where we entered, I said, we'll get, maybe some continuation in this name. So it gets over that 706. We get a nice pop, and it pops all the way up to 724. And now we are green for the day and up for the day. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is TRXC, keep your losses small, right? And everybody knows that. But in practice, sometimes it's very hard to do. So if you don't get the reaction you want in a trade, okay, be like a spoiled brat. And you're going to take your ball and you're going to go home and you're going to take a small loss. And we tried it again. We got another small loss, just wouldn't do it. And then that didn't work. So we just let our scanners do some work for us. And here's ROKA. And actually, we traded this on the 5-minute. I think I showed you the 2-minute before. But we traded this one over 123, expecting the 125 break. And we did get a nice push in that one. And then we traded EMES. And that one over 706 for a nice pop there. Now, in case you don't know, my service, we also do swing trades, and today we had a beautiful swing trade. We were in Schlumberger from yesterday at 64.25, and the stock went up today up to about 64.75. So we sold some trim and trail. We sold some into that nice pop of 64.70. So while we weren't doing great in the early morning in our day trades, we were doing really nicely in our swing trades on this big pop. So I'm green on my swing trade of like 60 cents on Schlumberger. And then the other one we had was McDonald's. All right, we were swing trading McDonald's from 166.10, 166.08, and that stock was powering up to about 167.25, and we've taken some gains off of McDonald's. So we are a swing trade and day trading service. So sometimes you may have a little bit slow in the day trades, but your swing trades do really well. And when the swing trades aren't doing well, you have your day trades to fall back on too. So the main thing I want to get across to in this little educational section of this video is that you need to, if you're a day trader, keep your losses small, keep your head in the game, keep your losers small so you can fight for another trade. All right, no big deal here taking a 5-6 cent loss when you don't get what you want, and again 5-6 cent loss, and then you see you get the nice gainer here in ROKA, and that kind of cleans up the losses there, and then you're patient, and then you get a nice EMES for a nice pop, and that puts you in the money for the day. All right, so if you keep your losses small, you don't get frustrated, don't overtrade. So that's basically 1, 2, 3, 4 day trades that we did today, and we ended up in the green. Now we could have possibly overtraded and gotten ourselves deeper into a hole, but we remained patient and we still waited for our setups. All right, so I just want to get that lesson across to you if you're a day trader. And like I said, I'm a swing trader and a day trader. I think it's the most powerful combination you can do, swing trading and day trading. All right, so I just want to make that clear with you. All right, so having said that, let's go ahead and get right into the watch list after that lesson. ALSK, I'll be watching this one for that 250 break. All right, volume a little bit light, but if it breaks over that 250, we might get a nice pop in this name, ALSK. AXAS, this one popped. And so I'll be watching this 1.9 million shares. Be watching this one for intraday setup on AXAS. It's an oil name, and looking probably for that like 215, 216 break on that name. CHK starting to turn the corner here, trying to get back up over the 50 SMA. This would be more of a swing trade type of thing. So I'm watching this one. If it can get over like 395, $4, maybe we might get a swing trade in that. CLMT, nice pop today. 1.7 million shares. We'll see how this sets up intraday. It looks like it needs to take out, that $9 area, so we'll see. CPRX, a nice candle, closed at 286. The high was 290, so maybe over that 290 spot. 1.7 million shares on the name. CTXR, trying to get up through this $4 area, closed at 340, so maybe if it gets back over 350, 1.3 million shares. This is a biotech name, so we'll have an eye on that one. EMES, they have earnings in the morning, but I will still try to maybe keep my eye on this one after the earnings to see how they do. And so I'll have this one on watch again. FMSA, quite a few oil names popping today, so that's why I have a lot of oil names on here. FMSA trying to get over the highs maybe for 436, 4.8 million shares traded, trying to get over the 20 SMA, so maybe that one will set up. GE, possible bounce play here. It's been down, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days in a row. We'll see if there's any kind of recovery in General Electric, maybe in the, like in 10:30 or 11 o'clock time frame. So we'll see if General Electric wants to bounce. GERN, It popped today. This was on my front burners today for stocks to trade in the morning. But, I know Gurn's history. It pops, it flops, it never really gets going. So it was on the front burner, but we never got a trade in it. I don't know. I'll keep an eye on it tomorrow. It's not my favorite. HIMX, all the semis are running. This thing is holding the 13 EMA, starting to get back over the 5 and the 50. So maybe if it takes out, 10, 30, $10.30. Maybe this one will get going. Possible swing trade. By the way, check all these for earnings. I didn't have time to check all these for earnings, so I leave that up to you. HLIT, communication equipment name, 3.6 million shares, trying to get over this 100 SMA. Also, this 375 spot on that. HMNY, it popped today. I just missed this one around that 925 spot. And I also wanted to try trading it over 10 today and completely dropped the ball on this one. So, I'll have it on watch tomorrow to see if I can get a trade. Now, don't trade this one with large shares, okay? Trade this one small shares, and it gives nice moves. You just have to be on the right side of it. HOV, nice pop today in HOV. 2 million shares traded, breaking out of this consolidation here. So, next stop obviously needs to get over the highs from today, but also that 250 number on HOV. Keep your eye on that one. IPI. This is an ag name starting to turn back up. 404 was the high, maybe over 405, 1.7 million on IPI. KBH, another home builder, starting to turn back up. The previous high on this candle is 2760. And we had a high today of 27.55. So if it breaks out over that 27.60 spot on KBH, maybe this one keeps going. McDonald's, like I mentioned, we're in this in the room, looking for that break of 167. All right, we already took partial gains on this of up over, like I think we took almost over $1 on McDonald's on this trade. But we're looking for continuation maybe through 167 now for McDonald's. MTBC, a little bit of a pop here, 1 million shares, closed at 316, 329 is the high, so maybe back over 325 on that name. NEOT, NEOT, I'm still watching this name. It's trying to get over this 136, 140 spot. So maybe if that happens, it'll finally get going. Volume is kind of dwindling down here, though, 1.1 million shares. NVAX, they had an upgrade by Citigroup today. I think the target was $1.60, I think it was. Anyway, so we'll see if this one wants to do something tomorrow. 7 million shares traded on NV. AX, PYDS, big pop here, maybe a red to green type of move on that name. SAEX popped, and this is an oil name also. 100,000, over 100,000 shares traded. Not a favorite, but so we'll see how it sets up. But this one can make, sporadic moves. SENS, they had earnings today, trying to get back over the 50 SMA on this name, SENS, and that $3 area on that name, SRNE. This one trying to get back over $2.75. Maybe if it pops that, this one might get going. TRXC, I'll give it another try tomorrow, but since it kind of took money away from me today, it's not a favorite. But, I'll give it another chance. Maybe I will let it get over that, 317 area, I think, before I trade it, though. So the highs today were that 319. So maybe if it gets over 317, this one might go. U.S. Steel, they had earnings after the bell. Big pop in the name. So we'll have this one on watch for tomorrow on U.S. Steel. Yandex, this is a Russian company, and it's kind of like the Google, I guess, of Russia. So we'll see if this thing wants to take out that 34 spot. Volume 2.5 million shares, maybe a possible swing trade in YNDX if it can take out, maybe 33.95 and break out through 34 on Yandex. So that's pretty much it for the video. If you want, you can come check out my service, zozostockwatch.com. It's zozostockwatch.com. and we do day trading and swing trading. Have a private feed that we have for the swing trades. We also call the swing trades on the microphone. We call the swing trades, type them in the room, the Omnovia room. We put them on the private feed. From the private feed, they can also go to your mobile device, and you'll be alerted on your mobile device if you're out and about. So come check us out, zozostockwatch.com. We have a trial for $9.99. If you cancel it before the 7 days are up, you won't be charged, for, the monthly fee. All right. So, and if you want to join for a month, it's $84.95. All right. So it's zozostockwatch.com. Come check us out. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching now or in the future or in the morning or the evening. And I hope everybody had a very good Halloween. Once again, heartfelt prayers go out to those in New York tonight on that terrible terrorist attack in New York. And hearts and prayers go out to you.